Hello everyone, this is me. So I've had a cold the last few days, and like in the previous video, you can kind of see me. Um, I'm thought to take the opportunity to do a self-inquiry while I'm in this vibration. So I'm just gonna do an open self-inquiry here, and you're just gonna hear me rambling, essentially. It might be interesting to you. For example, I've noticed I've just been talking for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes out loud. Like I'm in my bedroom by myself and I'm just talking out loud. You know, like you have thoughts, but those thoughts are just being spoken with no resistance. It's only like 8:30 and I've decided to put myself to bed to try and get some sleep. Whether I sleep or not, it doesn't really matter. It's good to rest. So yes, so I'm just gonna be, and you're gonna be here observing and listening to this vibration I'm in right now. So as I said, I've been talking to myself. But right now I feel like I'm performing for the camera. So I'm going to put the camera down and just be doing what I've just been doing. Okay, here I go. So my phone's on my bed right now, my bedside. Actually, it's on my pillow so you can hear me. So yes, so I'm still aware that I'm talking to myself. I'm aware that I'm choosing with no resistance at all to just speak words that I'm thinking. Interesting. Why am I doing this right now? I'm aware that all of this is still an experience and I'm the observer of it, which is distinct and untouched. I'm aware that this too shall pass. I have no inhibitions at all about the fact that I'm just speaking. As I said, I was speaking like this without the camera. My body is warm, so that's why I have a cold. Or it's a symptom of the cold, I guess. And yeah, so what I've been interested in with these last few moments is, so in this state, which is a rare state, because I'm not, I don't get a cold or definitely not flu often. And it never lasts long, or especially a cold. I'm about 80%, by the way. I'll be better in like a couple of days. And believe it or not, I'll be saying these same things if the camera wasn't on. So I'm in this weird place right now. Why am I talking out loud? Why is consciousness loosening my mind's grip on the protocol to only think thoughts inside the mind and not say them out the mouth if you're by yourself? Why am I just talking to myself right now? But fully knowing that I'm doing it. Not feeling crazy, of course. I could actually stop if I wanted to, but it feels like a process. It feels like this talking to myself is a process, like it's speeding up the so-called recovery. It just naturally started happening. I started talking. I'm just talking. Slight pain in the head. That's really the last thing that needs to heal up. My actual body's okay. Like I was being very physical yesterday, for example. It's just my headspace. It's a bit whooshy. You know, when you have to take a few moments to get up and to lay down or sit down. Oh, I guess one of the reasons I've been speaking from this vantage point, this frequency, is because I'm seeing even more clearly that there is the one that speaks and the one that hears. Literally. There is the one that speaks and the one that hears. So I'm speaking more clearly to the one that hears. because inhibitions for some reason have dropped off. So, welcome to how I do self-inquiry, by the way. Like, I really do analyze everything. I go very deep into this stuff. Usually this is just internal, but because I'm under the weather, it's out my mouth. So I look at all angles and try and debunk what I say and things like that. I mean, I'm at a place now where I know what I know to be true. So, for example, I already know that there is one that speaks and one that hears, but on the ultimate level, that it's all one. Of course, I understand this. I understand that I am my body, yet I'm also the observer of my body. You know, duality exists within an idea, a perception, but that all takes place within that which has no grounding, yet is all pervasive, pure consciousness, or call it God. So maybe because my head's a bit foggy, I feel like I have to speak to myself with more power, and speech is more powerful than thought in terms of manifestation. So maybe I'm trying to speak to the one that's listening with a bit more power, because maybe my thought power isn't as strong because I'm under the weather. Yeah. So I've just said that. Now I'm going to analyze what I just said. So I'm under the weather. Usually I'll just think internally, but my thoughts have become words, physical words. There's one that speaks and one that listens. Ultimately, it's the same one, but in duality, there's one that speaks and one that listens. So I want the one that listens to really hear. So because my thoughts, power, energy is less than, because my body is functioning at less than 100%, it's making up for that with the physical aspect of reality that we call sound. That sounds like it could be that, yeah. It also feels like just residue, just like talking gobbledygook, like talking almost rubbish, just for the sake of it. Also feels like a kind of like a healing process. I mean, there are healing systems that employ you to shake, for example, just shake profusely, or scream, like primal screaming. So there's many things that we can do with our body to kind of break through a resistant barrier. And let me just say now, by the way, there will be pauses in this video, but I won't have like a huge pause for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then just end the video. So if there's a big pause, just know I will speak. I'm saying that for my future self, because end of the day, if this goes on YouTube, I don't want to waste your time. So if there's a pause, just know I will speak at some point. I couldn't do that to you, just have you sitting on your fingers in anticipation. Although already I feel like I'm running out of things to say. Okay, so that brings me to another thing that I often say in my videos, which is when it comes to questioning, doing the self-inquiry, questionings are good. Questions are good because it forces you to exhaust your questions. Okay, that's why I don't mind having questions. Ask me questions whenever. If I don't get back to you, unfortunately, it wasn't the right time for me to reply to you. You know, all is one, there is only now. I'm not going to make any excuses. There's only now. Maybe wasn't in the right framework mentally to hear my answer, and vice versa. We're all co-creators. Having said that, ask me questions whenever. Because it's important to understand as well that it really is only now. So I'm not going to like apologize if my replies take a while. I have done before, but ultimately speaking, it's only now. So when you hear my reply eventually or don't, that's also part of your lesson. Maybe the silence was literally part of your lesson on your journey to either look at my other videos, and I mean that legitimately, or to quote unquote go within yourself to find the answer yourself. How much do you really want to awaken? And I said before and I'll say again, it's totally worth it. All these people, like some of these quote unquote enlightened gurus or whatever, who might say something that's true, that it is very simple, it is very present, it is here, etc., etc. However, it is also easy to miss for one, but it's also, oh my gosh, the most amazing experience ever, ever. And if anyone who has so-called awakened or had a so-called awakening hasn't experienced anything to the degree that I did, then I can understand why they might say, oh, it's not that big a deal. When I say it all the time, I melted into this fabric of existence. It was like Neo in the Matrix. And I mean that literally. Although for some reason I wasn't seeing things in green, I was seeing things in gold. I was seeing things in gold. I was seeing from a bird's eye view, I was seeing round corners. And again, I mean it's literally. I've said all this before, and as I always say, you don't have to believe me. It just, it's just true. It's just true. Also, props to you if you're listening up to this. Actually, comment in the video if you're listening this far. I would love to know, genuinely. Wow, I feel like this whole thing almost has come for this moment. Not really. Okay, I'm exaggerating there. I'm aware of that. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just exaggerated. However, it would be beautiful for me to know if you are listening this far and you haven't skipped this video. I feel like genuinely across all my social media, I have about maybe at a stretch, maybe 50 of you. Actually, no, I've already said this before. It's about 300 of you across all my social media who genuinely are like Team Tiger Dragonstorm, let's say. You genuinely respect me and value my words and my wisdom. And I have over 100,000 followers in total across all social media. So it'd be very interesting to know, yeah, if you are one of my real ones, I would have to say, who's listening this far. That'd be very interesting. Like, just put in the comment section, yes, I've been listening to the moment you asked the question, or I listened the whole way through. Obviously, it'll be the best. Yeah, because this video is going to be just a black screen, pretty much. Let me just check if it's still recording, and it is. So yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. I think you can understand what I've been doing this last half an hour. I just wanted to share it with you. I'm an open book, and it might help you understand how to do self-inquiry and understand. And also, this is, oh yeah. I know it sounds like I'm doing something interesting in bed right there, but unfortunately not. Okay, comment if you understand, if you're listening to this moment. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? It will come back. So I was saying something like, this is a way for you to observe how I sometimes do self-inquiry. Oh yeah. I remember what I was going to say now. So also, one of the things I really want to get across in this video is the reason I'm doing this. Like I said in a previous video where I was sick and I did a speech, reality is different. Every single moment is a absolutely whole different reality. I mean that literally. A moment is so intangible that you can't even measure it. We are constantly shifting. So sometimes we are quote unquote up, feeling good, and then it's quite easy to flow and be happy with life. But then we are sometimes sick or down, and then we just want to get back to being happy. What I'm showing you right now is when you really understand who you are, even in these moments of feeling so-called sick, I'm saying that in quotes, I don't feel sick, it's just a word really, this will pass. In these moments, if you can detach your emotions from it and see it for what it fundamentally is, my friends, my fellow expressions of consciousness, it's an experience, it's a reality, it's a frequency. I am not always in this frequency of having a cough, let's say. So it's like, oh, let me see from this cough frequency how I operate. Let me see from this frequency of speaking to myself out loud, what different perceptions can I have? What different experiences can I have from this frequency, from this reality, which isn't my normal reality? So let me explore so-called being sick. Let me explore what this really means. What does sick really mean? It's just difference, fundamentally speaking. So from this different perspective, what am I aware of? And guess what? No matter what I've been going through these last couple of days with this quote unquote sickness, just a cold, again, I'm not I'm not dying, is I'm aware that this is all something that's going to come and go. It's not fundamentally me. I'm not worried at all. I know literally within 2 days I'll be fine. I'm like 80% healthy. It's just my head is a bit whooshy, as I said. A bit woy. So even in your so-called down moments, as a person on this so-called spiritual path, you can use these moments to go even deeper into what reality is and what you are. Are you the same person when you are sick versus when you're not sick? If not, why? What has actually changed? Notice also that the observer of the moment never changes. There's still just this observer of the moment. This is observer that's aware, oh, a few days ago I was 100%. Oh, right now I'm 80%. Be conscious of that. The observer doesn't change, but the experience of the body and mind and talking changes. So who really changed? Was it you or the experience? And doesn't experience always change? So is it really anything to worry about? Of course, there's different intensities within experience, which, you might need really deep help. But of course, I'm not talking about that. Even within those situations, you can still do self-inquiry. So yes, on that note, I wish you an amazing evening or day, my fellow expressions of consciousness.